One second, guys. Just let me know if we are live. Cool. I think we're live now. Let me just double check. And if you guys are tuning in, welcome to the live session. Today, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you guys how I go about designing a wrap design. This is kind of more like lettering for a trailer, but we're going to be basically talking about those commercial wraps, commercial. I think I can hear myself. Hold on. Again, one second. I just want to make sure that everything is up and running. And I think we're going to get started in just a second. I just want to double check on my phone and get a confirmation. Yeah, I'm excited to share this live with you guys. Cool. I think we're good to go, homies. Let's see. Let's see. Just gonna check the chat. Let me see if I can see the chat. And looks like I can. Cool. All right. So, anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. And this whole session is going to be recorded and uploaded over to YouTube shortly as well. So, once I get done here, then I'll be sure to kind of share this process as well. So, if you are not already subscribed, make sure you're subscribed and let's get started. And I'm thinking I'm going to be doing more and more of these live sessions as we go along, and that will kind of help everybody who's trying to learn either the design process or the sign process. I think that will help get us more episodes for you guys as far as that design goes. So, anyway, we'll figure out the scheduling and we'll figure out when we'll be doing all these live streams later. But anyway, my name is June with Rey Signs, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a design, or how I go about doing a design for an enclosed trailer. We already have 3 designs that I was working on yesterday. I didn't have a stream set up, but now we do. So now I can show you guys live and kind of discuss that process live. So anyway, I have 3 designs that I've already kind of mocked up. And so trailer designs, you do have kind of 3 options that you can go off of. And the 3 options, I'm going to pull up a little document to kind of break down how I kind of determine what type of design needs to be done, and how I kind of tell the customer, explain before I start designing. So give me like 2 seconds here, and we're going to be talking about the different types, because there's obviously like lettering, there's half wraps, and there's the full wrap designs. So I probably should have had this little document prepared already, but I didn't. I didn't plan on streaming today, but here we are, and we're going to be doing a great job. So, not to worry. Let me just show you guys, because I like to have, pretty clear understanding of what we do here. So, I think this will help kind of break down my thought process. So, right here, I made this little document to kind of share with you guys and share with my clients how I break down the design process. So, oops. Let's do that. Nope. Okay, there we go. All right, so the design process is basically going to be broken down into the logo and lettering. That is kind of like the first beginner initial design that we're going to be doing. Logo lettering, it's obviously the cheapest option, and it is basic, bare bones. You're just going to give them lettering and maybe one printed logo. I have it broken down here. I have 1 to 2 logos. I have a custom printed logo that's going to be about 3 feet to 4 feet. That's going to be the max size we're going to give them. The medium coverage. So it does cover quite a bit with that lettering, but it's not going to be a whole bunch. And then we got the economical solution, which, well, this is the economical solution. And then I was just wondering when my dog was walking around. Then we have the partial wrap. The partial wrap is kind of like the elevated next level to it. And partial wraps basically are going to be your wrap that has half print and half lettering. And again, I have it broken down here. I can release this document for you guys if you want. Just let me know in the comment section below, because I do think this is very helpful in, 1, understanding what you're going to be designing, and 2, helping the client understand what they're going to be, have their expectations. setting up their expectations as far as like the price range and setting up what they're going to be obtaining with each option. So partial wraps, again, it's full color. You get at least 25 to 75% coverage, and it is a super popular option because one, it looks great. It's still pretty economical, I would say. I would say it's a mid tier range, and it looks the best when it comes to trailers. Because trailers, they might get a little bit banged up and stuff. So some people don't want to do a full wrap on there, but hey, this is another option you can do. It's a step above lettering, and it looks good. All right, full wrap, obviously that's going to be the great option. It's going to be the most premium option, and it's also going to be the best, coolest looking option. For me, if we're doing something, for me, I want to have it full wrapped. I mean, that's just me. I'm a wrap girl. I like it to have all the designs, all the bells and whistles. And if that's your client, if that's you, then this is another way to go. So full wrap allows you to have full color, a custom printed logo and design. So you can really show off your design skills on this. You could really show off your branding on this. So a lot of freedom with full wraps. It is full coverage, so you're covering the back, the sides, all of that good stuff. And I would say it is a premium solution. You obviously have to use higher quality materials for this, for the longevity of your project, and also so the colors pop out more and all that good stuff. So that's basically a simple breakdown of the wrap packages, and I just like to explain that, let people know, hey, if you choose the partial wrap option, I can have a little bit more freedom. If you choose the full wrap, I can have a lot of freedom. I can give you something really cool, really awesome. And then the lettering package, I do think that pushes the designers to be a little bit more creative if you're just kind of restricted by one or two colors. And it really shows off who's a good designer and who's not. So, because a lot of people, once they see one or two colors, oh, I can't do nothing, I can't make anything cool. Yeah, you're wrong. So let me show you guys how we're going to take that approach of just a kind of like a simple, how do I say this? A simple concept, which is lettering design, and make it into a cool little thing here. So that is what we're going to be discussing today. I'm going to do something real quick. So yeah, and like I said, I just literally set up this stream today. So this live streaming, I'm going to be doing a lot more episodes of this for sure. But this is what I have right now, and that's why that's why we only have that simple graphic. So I'm thinking that maybe I'll show you guys how I'll do a live stream on how I design live stream graphics. So we can have the cool graphics here. I'll have my pause screen. I'll have all those screens coming up soon. So just bear with me, and then we're gonna go ahead and there we go. And then we're going to go ahead and design some cool stuff. All right. Let me hop on out of here. All right. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of it. Now that you guys know we're going to be making lettering, let's talk about this design little thing that we're doing here. Okay. So like I said, I came up with 3 basic ideas, and this is my approach. And did my mouse just die? No, my mouse just died. Oh, no. Oh, no. Hold on. Let me charge it. Technical difficulties. Talk about them. Wow. I'm so upset. Okay. Oh, it's going to be so difficult. Hold on. Alright. I put a little... Okay, now I put it to charge. What's this? What happened? Sorry, little technical difficulties. Okay. Now we're back. All right. So my mouse died, but I just connected it. So cool. All right. So like I said, I created 3 options. Every time that I'm going to be starting a design, I like to create 3 options for the client to see, to view, and also for me to experiment. And I like to give myself, what happened? I like to give myself some freedom. I like to give myself, some range and just kind of freestyle. Yeah, just kind of freestyle and make it as, like you see, this is my artboard from yesterday from what I was working, and I'll kind of break down the beginning of this process. So the first thing I do is obviously look at the pictures, size them up to the appropriate size, make sure they're, in relative scale that way, and I scale it by tens. So I do a 10th scale. So that allows me to have the design, in relative scale, and then once it gets to the production and stuff, I'll go ahead and adjust the sizes exactly to what they need to be. But this is a good way to start, a good way to begin the design process, so it looks somewhat accurate to what the real one is. Scaling is important, so definitely do not skip this step. Next thing I have I just add some reference images. This time, normally I have a bunch of like different references and ideas and kind of make a mood board session of it. But this time I just kind of threw this one in there, but I had Google open and I was looking at images. I was looking at our past work. I was looking at, some more inspirational photos on Google. So I don't have them necessarily on here, but normally I would throw them somewhere in here. Next thing I do is I kind of collect the different elements. So here I have the logo, I have like the breakdown of the logo, I have, the written font of the logo in black and white, the logo in color. So this is kind of like just design elements that I'm going to be using, whether the customer has the logo, the QR, things like that. I also have some text here, which is text that the customer absolutely wanted to add on there. So I want to make sure that I got a customer calling me, I think, or somebody calling me. I'm going to hold that off for just a second. Let me just finish the stream. All right. So basically, what was I saying? So basically, yeah, I just add text here, and I'm just building out the elements that I'm going to need. It doesn't need to have any particular order. It doesn't need to have anything like super incredibly like well designed yet. We're just kind of spitballing. We're brainstorming. Crazy. I mean, we're just going crazy. All right. Then next, I'll bring in the picture that's scaled. I'll duplicate it 3 times, and then I'll get to designing. And then sometimes I'll design. One second stream. Let me just see what's going on over here. All right. Sorry about that. I had to let my dog out. So basically, what I'm gonna be doing is making 3 designs, and my idea for the first couple designs. So this was my original first design right here. I was just trying to bring in all the elements and bring in some icons. So I did record this process as well, so I'll probably add it on later whenever I'm editing this video. But yeah, I did add on these logos. I just went to fabicon.com and then just Googled some icons that I think would match what the remodeling is. I always think a picture's worth 1,000 words, so that is why icons are a top priority when it comes to having a list of services. And then speaking of a list of services, this was the second option. I was more of a classical option. So by classical, I mean that we just have a list of lettering, a list of services with just lettering and just bullet points. Makes it easy, makes it simple. Some people like this style. This is personally not my favorite. This would be my least favorite of the options. But some people, they prefer to just have a clean look to it, just very minimal. They don't want to do the most. They don't want to have icons, nothing. They just want to have the logo and the lettering. So if that's their choice, that's their choice. And yeah, so I like to give that option as well. And then obviously, I always do a flash design. What I mean by a flash design is mean that I am going to go as flashy as possible within the limitations that are given within what's being created or what's being purchased. So in this case, it is lettering, and this one is going to be a little bit, this should be a little bit more towards like the half wrap situation, but I believe that it does kind of fit in the middle of a half wrap and lettering. So that is why I kind of made this option as well. So here's how I kind of elevated my thought process on elevating these 2 designs. One thing that I really did like about this design was the icons. So I brought those in here. Here I necessarily, like I said, I'm not too much of a fan of it, but what I did like was this font that I ended up picking. So I brought that font in. I brought that font in. I brought that font in, and I brought it in and put it for the simple lettering. And I also created this logo, and this is very simple. Like I said, I did record this process, so maybe I'll chop up the video and I'll kind of show you how I made this process. But basically, what I did was just a circle, added some stroke to the back of the logo, made this a little bit smaller. And they did want to add this little tagline, on time remodeling. We are always on time, or you'll get a 20% discount. They just didn't know how they wanted it to be incorporated. And I just thought a logo would be one super easy to apply. So, easy application is part of, the pricing. So, I want to make sure that I create something that's easy. So, logo, that's a circle, boom. We just apply that air release vinyl, makes the job super simple. Okay. And then it would incorporate all that lettering without necessarily having all that lettering. All right, the next thing is the website. Well, the next thing was moving the website down here, because if you saw in those two other options, I had the website here and then I had it here. So I did need a place to kind of squeeze it and put it in, and this right here was gonna be the best place, because I tried putting it over here. But then I had to bring this down, and it kind of looked a little too small. So that's why we're going to do the website right here. So another thing about creating a design that's well balanced overall is making sure that you have the same amount of information on one side as the same amount of information on the other side. So it doesn't necessarily have to have the same amount of letters. It doesn't have to it just has to have the same amount of weight. So, does that make sense? I've been trying to explain this for a while on what weight is and balance is in design, but the words haven't come to me yet. So, once they come to me, then I'll do a whole episode on why it's super important, especially for sign design, vehicle design. The balance of your design is like super important. Sometimes when it comes to like print design or like social media, web design, that you don't necessarily need balance. Having off balance actually, sometimes looks good, looks cool, but especially when you're bringing something to life in signage, you will need to have balance. That's just, it's kind of needed. If not, the design will look off in real life. So in real life, things do need to have balance. So anyway, another little thing is that this was the original design, like this. And yeah, it looks good. It'll do the job. It's definitely lettering. But honestly, I'm already going to have vinyl from this and that. And I decided that I wanted to add a little, something a little bit of different, kind of upscale it, but without having to do a wrap, without doing a half wrap, without it being too much. So adding these like little corners here, kind of, put a little bit of flair into it, put a little bit more color into it. Because between all of these, this one definitely sticks out the most because of those teeny tiny flares. And this is not going to be a lot of material. This is not going to be hard to install. So why not add it on there? It adds so much without taking away, like, out of the budget, out of the work you do. It's just a no-brainer to add something like that. If there's an opportunity to add a little flair, a little, touch extra, I always add it in the corners. Pro tip. There you go. So what we're gonna do today is, after I broke down all that work, what we're gonna do today is I'm actually gonna work on kind of cleaning this up a little bit and finalizing the design, adding the design to the back, and then doing this other side. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and work on the next side. Actually, let's work on the back, because the next side's gonna be pretty much the same concept. So nothing too spectacular there, if you ask me. Well, it shouldn't be that spectacular. And then I'll go ahead and size that up, get everything ready for production, because this design pretty much has been approved. So give me some water. All right. So for the back, we got these two doors, and these two doors we got this two doors, we got this, we got that. So it's a lot going on, and I don't know how I feel about that. But I do know that this has to be, I'm going to go ahead and kind of, you know what, before I do that, well, what to do next? All right, I'm going to delete that real quick. So before I do that, I'm actually gonna kind of work on this little logo right here separately. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to refine it a little bit and kind of finalize the look of it. Cause this one I just threw together quickly because I wanted to get these mock-ups done. So now I'm gonna go in and kind of do a little bit more of a. I'm gonna do some more intricate work to it. If that makes sense. Just gonna do a little division line right there. Like that. And if you guys are tuning into the stream, make sure you guys drop a little what's up in the chat. I got y'all. All right. If I see your chat, I'll make sure to give you a little shout out. Cool. Thank you for all those who are tuning in. All right, let me do that little number. So I'm basically, it's a circle, so I'm going to get this the point of it is to get this thing to be center, and then I'm gonna kind of center the letters, center the words. They are pretty balanced already, but we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit more balancing to them. So let's do that. Cool. All right. So there we go. We got this thing balanced. Now the next thing we're gonna do is go in here, and I'm just kind of adjusting it a little bit, making sure the spacing looks about right. Oop. Oop. Yeah, that's a little difficult right there. Let me move that. Oh. Gotta focus. I'm gonna do this real quick. I think the lettering and the size is perfect. This one needs a little more. Make this one a little bit bigger. Get more towards the outside. Make sure that the font is still 3.5. Cool. Same thing with this one. That's gonna be 0.5. Oh, 0.35. There we go. Okay, cool. That'll work. Make that like that. I'm gonna outline it so I can kind of move this text a little bit easier. This one is the one that has to go right there. Like that. That'll work. And then this one I kind of want to push it back a little more, but I remember last time I had to push it like this. How did I push it last time? Yeah, like that. Okay. All right. There we go. And I'm just looking for this side and this side to, you know, be centered. If anybody knows an easier way to do that, comment it in the comment section below. I don't typically make circle logos, so that's why I'm like, it's a little foreign to me. I just got the idea and was like, yeah, that might look good in a circle logo. And then I just want to double check the spacing. It's like that's at 0. What's this one at? Should I add a little more space between the words? That would kind of cool. Let me. Just don't want it to be like too, you know. So let me add a little bit more of that. That'll work for me, I think. And just move that one a little more. It's also, you know, the logo is not like a straight shape, so that, you know, takes a minute to even look at and see space is and what space exactly I'm looking at. But there we go. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Let's make sure that this is over here. This is looking straight as well. The logo. Oops. I think I had already adjusted that. So that looks fine. Okay. Cool. checking, and I think that's the one. And if you haven't noticed, I like to make a bunch of copies of the same thing, kind of like my iterations. That's how I handle iterations. Um, Rather than, saving the file and doing all that, I just save it all in one file. I call this my working file, and in my working file, I just do this iteration process as I go. All right, next thing I'm going to go ahead and outline the whole thing. Object, expand, and outline, or you can just hit Shift Control O, whatever works for you. But I find that the object expand expands the outline, and that outline would get bigger and out of shape if I didn't do that. So yeah, so that's with expanding it and outlining it. And if I didn't do that, it would look something like that. So we can't have that. The outline has to be expanded as well. Anyway, back to this. We got the back. I'm gonna throw this logo on there, and I think I want to. We'll throw in some of this. We'll throw in some of this stuff. We'll throw in some of that. Throw that in for good measure. Throw that in, like right there or something. And then we'll throw in the services back here. We'll throw in a list of services and bullet points. And we'll throw it in just right there. Well, let's do this. That'll work. Yeah, maybe. Okay, maybe not. Maybe this back here, and these right here, and then list of services right here. How about that? How's that? Am I feeling that or not? I don't really care for the list of services back there. It's too much. I'm just going to do a simple logo, and we'll do like a 20-inch logo back there. Website and that. And we'll just throw in the total remodeling. That should work for me. Yeah, we'll do that. Oops. Do total remodeling. Again, this is lettering, so you got to keep it simple. This is just for lettering. If it were a full wrap or if it were a half wrap, then I'll throw in the little accents back here. But because it is just lettering pricing, I'm not going to throw in the accents back there. It's just going to be simple. Got to keep it super simple on the back. And since the doors are small, you don't really want to add all that crazy info. More towards the top. Nah, we'll do it right there. We'll do it in the middle. That'll work. That'll work, and then I'll throw these a little bit lower, like right above the little handle. And that's kind of how I would approach the back. Again, super simple. When you try to do too much, it ends up looking too clunky, too full, too stacked. So I like this. I could add the list of services, but I think that it's better cleaner. And that's way more effective, I think. I think that'll work. All right. I'm satisfied with that. All right. Next thing is basically getting in here and flipping the design. So this thing over here, bring that over there, and then I'm going to go ahead and just copy it. And then I'm going to paste it. Oops. A whole new tab. Copy it and paste it in here. Oof. Okay, this might have to be... do I want to swap it around, or do I just want to make that circle a little bit smaller? No? No, I don't have to make it smaller. It would keep the printing process easier if I could just print the same thing. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Does it? Trying to figure out what I said makes sense to myself. And I think so. Okay. Delete that logo and let's put the finalized logo so I'm not having to sit here and struggle. Right, I guess that's like a 4.8. I'll double check the sizing on that. I'll have to shrink both of these up a little bit. Yeah, so it's right now I'm just debating whether I want to flip it and put it to the front. I'll do that. It's fine. Fine, it'll work. Just flip it over like that. Kind of keep it the original design as it was, but just kind of flipped over. So the logo is towards the front at all times. And then yellow goes in the top corner. It's like a square corner. So yellow would go. I'll transform, reflect. Okay. Yellow would go right there. And then blue would go. Transform. Oops, not rotate. Transform, reflect. There we go. Alright. So that's pretty much front, side, side. And I think that'll work. Alright, so besides that, I do need to, and I guess I could. Let me open up another file real quick. I was just showing the options and stuff, but what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to like a full layout of this thing. Like a finalized layout. So I'm going to go ahead and take these guys. I'm pretty happy with these. I think this is going to be the final design. So put this over here on a clean sheet. Delete. Delete. I don't need none of that. I'm going to actually save this file. You can't see what I'm saving it as. Good. Cool. Alright. Let's go back and let's put this down. Okay, cool. 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 Let me see. Okay, cool. Cool, I just need to save something real quick. There we go. No, that won't work. Okay, let's try that now. There we go. Okay, so anyway, this is the finalized kind of stage that we're at, and the next thing is basically going to be taking over here these, what I like to call these little square sizes that I made. And then I'm going to make the design kind of like in a 2D model, flat style. Perfect. It's a little 2D model design that I'm going to be creating. And I like to put it like this. I don't know why I put it over there, but I like to put it like that. I'm actually going to be using this design right here. Put that bad boy over here. Okay, guys. Looking at this, I'm debating whether I like this or whether I want to put the logo back here. I'm tempted to put the logo back there, but does that mess with what is, what is going on on the other side because the logo is on the front. So I'm thinking like front logo that keeps it consistent, and front and back logo that keeps it consistent in the fact that it's the same look, but it doesn't keep it consistent in the fact that it's like where the logo's placed. So always when doing vehicles, trailers, things like that, I always think about that. That's like one of the top things that I think about. I'm gonna add a little white background to that. I'm gonna go ahead and simplify this outline, make it a little less noticeable like that. And then we'll bring in this graphic right here. There we go. Okay, we'll bring that in, right side, left side type of deal. And then I'm gonna redo these curves. Just give me a minute and I'll do them. Just give me a minute. But I do like that it's kind of like a random curve. It's not necessarily like the plan isn't to have an exact size or anything. It's just more like a random curve. So it keeps it organic. And I just kind of made this shape like super quickly using the pen tool. I'll show you real quick how I did it. So basically the pen tool, I just went boom, 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 and then boom, and then I just did something like that, and I got my shape. It literally was that simple to make this shape. It's not science, magic, or anything in between. There was no direction or anything that I was, or aesthetic or anything I was trying to go for. It was just basically making a little shape that will kind of fill in that corner, giving a little more swag. And because it is like a circle shape, I think that's why it works so well. But if it didn't have a circle shape, I don't think it would work as well. Like if the logo was not a circle, it might not work. Hold on. Georgie. George. Alright. I don't know. I was waiting on my dog. He was knocking. Alright. Get back to business. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Okay, cool. All right. So wonders of life. Anyway, so let's do that. Cool. Like I said, right now it's about refining the shape and adjusting things. So we're kind of like gearing up towards the final steps, doing the final design. And the reason being is because, like I said, the client has already approved this design. I'm going to be adding their website, be adding their phone number, all of that information. So we'll add that on a little bit later, but we're just, finalizing the design. Everything looks good on that end, I think. I'm going to double check the sizing, and that's 48. That looks good to me. Website is like that. I'll probably add that after. I'll add it right now. All right, 1 second. Let me figure out what the website is. Gotta get that final information. Go in the website and phone number. So we got this website right there. Then we got the phone number, which is gonna be this like special number. So okay, perfect. Okay, so we got the website, phone number. Something looks off real quick. Let me see. Okay, it's on time remodeling. Okay, there we go. But I think that I want the website to be all capital case. The reason being is, yeah, that looks better. I think this font just looks better in capital letters. So that's what I'm gonna do. Looks good. Sizing. Delete that space. I don't like extra spaces, so I delete them. Make it look like that. Make it look like that. Center that. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. I gotta center everything, so we can throw in some rulers. Show the rulers, and we'll just throw that in like that. That'll work. And then we're gonna do it to the size of whatever this is. So what size is that? I like to try to keep my numbers even as possible. So what that means is that I'm gonna try to keep, like, if it's 56, if it's like something that can be 6 feet, then I would put it to 6 feet rather than putting it to 5 feet and 5 inches. You know, that doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to mean. So this right here, so what I mean is, like, this is 5.6 or 56 inches with 8 whatever. So instead of doing that, I'll just tone it down and make it like 50 maybe, or 50 might be too small. So 54 maybe. Or I could just make it 56, whatever. 56, that'll work. Yeah, I'll make it like a nice even 56. Then I'll put my guidelines. Alright, same thing with this. We're gonna go to 5.6. That'll work. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit closer here so I can get this going. And if you guys see anything that's spelled wrong, let me know before I goof it up. So painting, renovations. Is that how you spell renovations? Let's just double check. I want to print anything that's spelled wrong. But he knows that that's a pain in my butt. No renovations. Okay. That seems to be spelled right. Cabinets, paintings, and more. Okay. That all seems to be spelled right except the and more. Remove that. Okay. Now that it seems to be spelled correct, I'm going to go ahead and do the 012, go like that. Okay, that'll work. I just outline that, and then I'm gonna kind of this font and this font. Let's align it, make it as aligned as possible. That works. That'll work. That'll work. And then same thing with this. You have to outline things at this point. 5.6. That'll work. Yeah, any questions, you guys let me know, and we'll keep it popping off over here. So cool. Let's keep going. 56. Let's group these, and I like to make sure that everything is perfectly aligned. Make sure everything is perfectly straight. That's kind of in the process that we are. It's not the funnest or flashiest process, but it works. It gets it done. Here you can see that it's a little off balance because it says more top than bottom, but that might be passable because we got this right here. But I might just center that. I'll do this. I'm gonna just go ahead and group all this. So shift. What? I'll group all this because that seems to be perfectly straight. And then I'll do that number. So now we're even. And then this, I'll go right there. Then I'll even this out. Okay, cool. Cool. I think that works for me. Looks good. I kind of still want to push it up a little more. I'm tempted to push it up a little more because the circle is, yeah, I think that's what I'll do. No, I'm not doing that. maybe this needs to be pushed down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Like that much. That'll work. I think that works. Yeah. That'll work. Let's see how much space is in between these letters. Let's see. Okay. So we got a 4.5. I could probably make it. Yeah, we can make it 5 inches in between those. So that would work if I just push it down a little more. And then push it down to right there. Straighten that out. Yeah, that works. Makes it easier to install as well if you know the measurements in between the different objects. So, yeah. Yeah, and typically this is what I'm thinking whenever I make a design. I think about a bunch of things, and I will discuss them here on the streams. I'll discuss them in my YouTube videos, but what I basically like to think about is the pricing, the type of style that we're doing, the installation process, all of that. I do consider all those elements while making these designs. I don't know why I said that like that, but anyway, that's part of the game. So did we end up saying that that's going to be like that? This one's going to be like that. Right. Okay. And this one's going to be like that. It's the same size, so I'm just going to delete that. Go like that. And the only difference is that we're going to do a quick transform, reflect. And then that looks wild. But what you got to do is just simply transform, reflect. Done. And then transform and reflect. Done. Okay. Boom, boom, right, left, done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Done. Done, done. Next. It's these logos right here. That. And then I will show you guys how I set it up to, show the final look of it. But let me do that number first. Or does the back look too empty to you guys? Let me know. If it looks too empty, what we can do is we can take some of these icons. I just don't want to do different size icons. It's just no. No. We gotta keep it simple for real. We do have to keep it simple on the bag just because we are doing the most on the sides. We gotta keep it simple. That's how the game goes. Alright, anyway. Oops. Why did I put just website and thing? So, we'll take the phone number. Oops. We'll take this phone number right off your hands. We'll copy and then we'll do a paste. And then we'll take this website off your hands. Just like that. Cool. That would make it look more fulfilling, probably, hopefully. These have to be the same size, so give me a second. There you guys go. Boom, boom. We're gonna go ahead and do the outline on that. Make this 20. Make this 20. And make this 20. Just like that. Line them all up. Make sure they're all the same width. They don't have to be the same height. They just have to be the same width. Alright, group them. Group them and scoop them. Boom. Done. Done. Save. And then let's get to plating this thing. Make another copy. Bring the copy down. Do that number. This will be my third plating. No, this will be my fourth plating. Okay. This is how I would kind of lay it out for the client to best understand to see their what they're ordering. So what I would probably do here is that I'm going to hold on. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting right side, left side, back, and then I'll put everything together in this layout. So I'll show you guys in just a second. So let's take another one of these. But remember, we did switch this around. And this is going to be the final like overall look to it, so we want to keep it cohesive. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to erase all this. So I'll erase all this, and then I'm going to take the actual scaled version and I'll put it on there just to see what it looks like. I'm curious. So we're going to do that. We're going to delete that. We're going to delete the white back, and then we're going to go ahead and go like that, and then throw that on like that. So it is scaled, so that's what you see is what you get. Kind of move that down a little bit. I do think that we are pushing it down a little bit too much, but it could be the angle of the photo. It could be the angle of the photo. I think it actually is the angle of the photo. So this needs to be pushed down. I mean, pushed up. In real life, it would be more like that. I'm not going to change the spacing between things or anything like that, just because it is kind of like where it needs to be, relatively speaking. So that'll work. I don't know why it's giving me some echo, some feedback there. All right, cool. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other side, and then we're going to plate this thing up. Oops. All these weren't like connected, so that's probably why. That's deleting me. Okay, cool. And there we go. And this is a remodeling company, by the way. I don't think that I've gone into this. I don't know why I didn't earlier, but yeah. So depending on what you're trying to do and what you're trying to advertise, the design should match up to that, and that's part of the brainstorming process. So I will go into detail on the brainstorming process maybe on another stream, but this is more like to show you guys the layout, to explain why I made the design decisions. But if you have any curiosity on how I do my brainstorming and how I came up with the ideas, then we could probably do a session all on how the ideas or how the ideas come about, because I do think that some designers, some people, or even when you're trying to, or even the clients themselves, or if you're trying to get a trailer design, sometimes you kind of need to know what you're looking for and what you like, just to make sure that you get exactly what you like. So it's always good to kind of have your own ideas and then let the designer do their thing. And designers, it's always good to, look at other ideas and see exactly what industry this the client is working in, and you want to match the design to the industry that your client is in. Don't do anything that's not that. Okay, let's what was I gonna do? Oh, copy. I was gonna copy, and then I was gonna, there's too much extra stuff, so I want to kind of focus on the trailers. I'm just gonna mask it, and then let's just control 7 and that mask that out. Then I'll go ahead and throw this down like that, and I would just kind of lay it out like that. Copy, paste, and I'm gonna do another mask, so like that. Go like that. Thank you for working out. Now we'll do that. Kind of match the same size. Okay, that'll work. I'll put in some information up the top here once we get to that stage, but I'm not there yet. And then to the back, same deal. This time take away these black lines right here. Same deal, guys, same deal. We're gonna mask in case you missed it before, and control 7. Easy. Down. Try to match the relative size of this. Oops, I didn't put the website or the name there. So let's go back and fix that real quick. Let's just take that, come over here, and delete. I'm gonna delete all these. still pretty to scale, I would think. Like that. That'll work. Oops. This needs to be on its own, like, board. Cool. All right, now that I have that laid out, I'm also going to do this kind of flat view of it, so they have an idea of what's going on there. That's just how I like to lay it out, and I'm gonna the background here. If you want to get a little fancy, you can add a little like shadow box. That'll work for me. What I need it for. Oops, come back. Make this into a group. All right, cool. Cool. Copy it, and then make it a little bit bigger. Just like that. It doesn't have to be exact. You could add a shadow. You could add a box. Doesn't matter. Just adding it so it kind of pops out a little bit more off the screen, off the piece of paper or whatever the hell. All right, cool. I'll make it bigger. Just want to make sure that those details, the words, everything is easy to read, easy to interpret, and there's no confusion. I think that when you make a confusing design or when it's hard to understand what you're trying to say, it just makes it more difficult for your client, and we don't want to do that. We want to make it easier for them. Point of them hiring a professional is for them to get, like, hands off. They can just relax and trust you to do your job, and that's it. It's not that hard. Just do your job. All right, cool. That looks good. These guys, I'm gonna go ahead and make this bigger, as big as they'll go. Because obviously you want to make this as big, easy to read. You can read all the letters, make sure all the spellings are correct. Because you know what it says. It's once it's approved, it's approved. If something's spelled wrong, then it's gonna be a fee on them, and you don't want to have them pay extra fees for silly spelling mistakes that you made. That's just rude. Things that they might have accidentally spelled wrong initially when they were trying to draft up what information to send to you. So, we can't really. I don't know what I was going to say after that. But anyway, point is just do this little step, and you'll be fine. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and label these right side, left side, whatever. So we'll do driver side. Driver side. We'll do what's it called? Passenger side, maybe? Yeah, passenger side. So passenger side, like that. And then we're gonna do back side. Alright, just put back. Back side sounds kind of wrong, so we're just gonna put back. That. We'll make this one a lot bigger, like that, and that should do the job. Okay, that looks good. Think so. Okay. Just trying to make sure that it is cool. Just looking at it right now. Cool. That'll work for me. That works for me. And we're good to go. Okay. Let's tune back out and let's do this number right here. Alright, this one I don't necessarily need to do or add anything to, so delete. So remove that. There we go. And then it's just about tightening it up, tightening up the stuff. By doing this step right here, by doing the 2D view, what I end up doing is I end up creating a template for print file. So this right here is pretty much ready for production. So if the client approves, then we're shooting that thing over to production, and we've already kind of ahead of the game. We don't have to waste any time. So that is why I always like to do this like kind of flat 2D view without all the stuff, without no template, nothing, just flat 2D graphics. So I don't know if that's right or wrong. That's just what I do. So if you do it too, let me know. If you don't do it, then let me know why don't you do it. All right, we got driver's side. Let's make it big and easy to read so people don't get confused. If you know, like, I think that when it comes to design, I really believe that it is up to the designer to, like, your job is to design a better way to do things. So if you can find a better way for this to look, an easier way for it to look, then do that. Then make something, like, use that creativity to make something easier for your client to understand. Use that creativity to make, a good design. Use that creativity to, like, it shouldn't just work well, it should look well. Well, I mean, it shouldn't just look good, it should work well. Like, it should be effective. And that goes for everything. That why did I do that? All right, can I please see the preview? Thank you. So, it should work well in the fact that you should be able to read all the information. People who are trying to understand, or people who are the clients of this remodeling business, should be able to understand that it is a remodeling business. It should, get straight to the point. And then it should also look good. If it doesn't look good and it says all the information, like, yes, it does the job, but it doesn't look good, and nobody wants to look at something that looks ugly. So there you go. Good design isn't just design that looks good, it is design that works well. So that is that spiel on design, and we'll go more into it as I start making more episodes of this. So that will do. We'll do passenger side. Then I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller, like that. We'll do driver side, like that. Passenger side, and we'll do back. And then I'm gonna just convert this over to red, just in case there's any confusion. I don't like confusion, you know that. I don't like people being confused. Colors unconfuse people, so let's do that. Oh, perfect. Okay, so that is pretty much going to be all that I have time for today. I'm going to go ahead and send these out to the client. We are done for the day as far as this design. I might tune back in with you guys later and work on a truck design for a pool company. So stick around and subscribe to our channel. Again, my name is June with Rey Signs, and we talk about signs, graphic design, car wraps, and all the good stuff. When it comes to the sign industry, you know that you can trust Rey Signs to give you all the info, whether you're looking for a sign or whether you're trying to start your own company. As far as design goes, you can trust us to, give you all the tea and give you all the behind the scenes. So remember, we're going to be dropping some new episodes of these streams. If you guys enjoy these, if you guys like these, if you guys are learning stuff from, like, just watching people do it, let me know. Or if you guys want to see something different, let me know as well in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. My name is June. Peace out.